Ladies and gentlemen, it is Wednesday, January 7th, and we are coming to you straight from the back of Eddie Guerrero's Lowrider. My name is Nick Cascarell.
I'm John Thornton, and this is Wrestling.
Alright, and welcome to episode 6 of This is Wrestling. Hello, I'm Nick Cascarella, as I just said in the introduction, where we also said we were in the back of Eddie Guerrero's Lowrider, which is like actually the most ridiculous thing. Yeah, and very bouncy, so this should sound like dog shit.
Yeah.
Really quick, Total Divas came back.
Oh yeah.
And let me tell you, that show is fucking great.
It's too much.
Dude, it's like, really too much.
It's so
scripted. Oh, it's so painfully scripted. Yeah. But I hate how people, like, really hate on it.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Because it really is so entertaining.
It's just shitty reality.
Yeah. Like, which is, like, kind of...
Which I love.
Wrestling is. Like, dude, it really is. But they do. They, like, turn it up to, like, the 10th degree. Oh, it's, like, so absurd.
And the other night, they did what I was talking about last week.
Right. They did it last night.
Yeah. So, Paige, Natalia, on Total Divas, had a little tiff where Paige told Natty she ate a weed brownie.
Which is so ridiculous.
Which it wasn't a weed brownie. It really was just a regular brownie, but Natty didn't want to get caught.
And crashed her car into a dumpster.
So she crashed into a dumpster. So, she blames Paige for that, which is so whatever. So anyway, so they ended it. They're like, all right, whatever, it's fine. On the episode, Monday night, Natty versus Nikki Bella.
Yeah.
Paige comes out and they're like, oh, well, she just had like a real big tiff with her last night on Total Divas. It's like,
dude, that happened 6 months ago.
That was by SummerSlam.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, that's like 5 months ago, 6 months ago.
Yeah.
Like, honestly.
Yeah.
Why are they bringing this?
I don't know.
That's what I mean. It's just, that's so stupid.
They force it so hard into the, like, into the actual, like,
Raw show.
Yeah, which they shouldn't. They should, like, have it be its own thing, and I think it would be more impactful. Also, I wish that they showed more, because, like, my favorite parts of Total Divas is, like, when they're backstage at TV tapings.
I love that.
Yeah, I fucking love it. Like, if it was, like, a whole show of that, it would be so sick.
Yeah, but you know I love it when they're just out, at the grocery store.
Well, that's the other thing. Like, how could you not like that show? Like, it literally is just, like, 45 minutes
of divas.
Like, being, like, way, way too attractive. Like, like, it's insane. Yeah. So, like, you got all these people being like, that's not wrestling. It's like, you're right, it's not a wrestling show. It's a show about these, like, hot ass girls being ridiculous, like,
and that talk about wrestling.
Yeah, like
what?
Like, what don't you like?
Yeah, I don't know what there isn't to like about it. Like, it's amazing.
I know, it's fucking ridiculous. That show is so insane.
Yeah. So yeah, other than that, like, last night. Oh,
for Raw last night was
lacking.
No, dude. Can I tell you something? That is one of the worst fucking Raw shows I've ever seen.
That's the exact conversation I had today at work.
It was like, the exact fucking bad.
And that's come from someone that I work with who's 38 years old, dude. They've been watching it. You do the math, all right?
For 38 years.
Yeah, exactly. Like, say he's been watching since he was like 10.
Yeah.
That's almost 30 years of wrestling watching.
Yeah.
Saying that was possibly one of the worst episodes.
Let's break it down from beginning to end. Why it was, like, just not good. And I don't want to be, like, the guy that just sits around and is like, Raw fucking sucks now, blah, blah, blah. Because there are nights where I'm like, oh, that was a good match.
Yeah,
and that was cute.
Nights that were like, oh, that was awesome.
Yeah, that was, like, actually a good Raw. Yeah. Last night was fucking bad.
That was pretty horrendous.
It was so bad.
So what it opened up,
everyone was in the ring.
Everyone was in the ring.
And everyone didn't even have to be in the ring.
No.
Because nothing was addressed to the entire locker room.
No.
They talked basically to...
The Authority talked to Cena, more or less.
Yeah, and Dolph Ziggler.
And then Seth came out.
Right.
They announced Royal Rumble, Seth Rollins...
It's going to be a three-way.
...versus Brock.
And John Cena. Which is awesome. I think that's... it makes it more interesting. Now I don't have to watch the
part 3 again
of Brock and Cena, which I'm tired of.
I'd like to see Seth Rollins curb stomp Brock Lesnar.
Exactly.
That'll be sick.
That's what I mean. Like, it'll give it a different edge.
But at the same time, it's kind of like, yeah, he has the money in the bank, though.
Yeah, so they're not going to... If anything, maybe it switches to Cena. And then Seth takes it from him.
Which brings me... we were just talking how I said... so I read online off some... I forget what site
Some spoiler site?
Yeah. No, not well, they do some, but they just like rumors and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Rumor mill says there's a possibility of Seth Rollins, DB.
Oh,
as a future feud.
Oh, that would be cool.
Absolutely. I honestly think Seth Rollins is like incredible. I think he's a great wrestler.
He's so good.
I think lately out of the Shield, I think he's the best.
Oh yeah.
Like,
wrestling one? Yeah.
Yeah.
And, like, definitely the past few weeks when he's, like, really turned into the super villain, like, he's awesome.
He sells it very well.
He did this, like, great thing last night during his match against Ryback, which we'll get to the match itself, but, like, he comes out and, you know, he's, like, so cocky when he comes out and everyone's booing him and he's just got this big grin on his face and he like, gets up on the ropes, and right as he's about to raise the Money in the Bank up, like he does, he, like, turns his head to the side and shuts his eyes and makes his face like, here it comes, and he raises it up, and the whole place boos him, and he just opens his eyes and has this huge smile on his face, like, yup, I got him. Like,
that is so fucking sick.
And it totally is like, he knows it. He's got everyone. Everyone hates him, and that's when the company goes, you're a heel now. That's what the company wants. Is for the entire...
You want yourself to be hated.
The most hated. It's like Chris Jericho, like, takes it to the, like, super extreme when he's a heel. Like, in public, he, like, is mean to people.
That is so sick. Yeah. When we saw Mick Foley, he was talking about how, when he was, like... When they were first starting, like certain different guys and stuff, they'd go out to, like... They went out to a Waffle House, he was saying. And, some, like, hick looks at him and goes... Next time you see Vader, I want you to kill him.
Yeah, it's like so insane.
Like, oh yeah, I'll see what I can do. And I guess instantly the hick just goes, no, I want you to actually kill him. So like as a heel, Vader was doing his job like perfectly. Like, yeah, and then he was also saying how like all 4 of his tires got slashed.
Yeah,
and he's like, awesome. Now I have material.
Yeah,
now I have something to talk about.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's pretty sick. Like, there's just certain people that just do it well.
Yeah, and Seth is doing a really good job.
He's doing a very good job. So what I think might happen is, what we just said. I think Cena will win, or it really could be either of them could win.
And then
You know what they might do?
What? Kill John Cena.
Kill him. They might have Brock win. And then have Seth Rollins beat him with the briefcase.
That's true.
Cash in.
Yeah.
So, because that would give Seth Rollins he's the undisputed future of the company. Yeah. That will give him...
Like, I beat
Brock Lesnar. The Beast.
Yeah. That would be insane. And then also...
And then send it to WrestleMania.
Well, also, that would be good. Like, the Paul Heyman thing that he's been, like, shaking his hand.
Yeah.
And, like... Then he could be like the next Paul Heyman guy because I know that Brock is like going to UFC.
Yeah,
again
shortly after WrestleMania.
Yeah, like going back to UFC again. Yeah. So like, I wouldn't be surprised if they start trying to build like he's the new Paul Heyman guy. Like,
dude, that they could really if who knows what the creative team will.
Well, after last night's show, honestly, they could do anything because they had Cesaro and Tyson Kidd in full bodysuits as part of the Rosebuds or whatever.
Yeah. Exotic Express.
You've got to be fucking kidding me.
Absolutely ridiculous.
But that's later in the fucking shit show that was Raw last night.
Yeah.
Like,
so, I mean, they could really, though, Daniel Bryan, Seth Rollins, they could really do a lot with that.
Oh, that could be so good. Especially, like
probably one of the biggest baby faces of the company versus the biggest heel of the company, period.
Yeah, and that could be such a fun thing to watch. Like, two of like the new generation, you know what I mean? It's not, you keep putting these guys with like Randy Orton and John Cena. It's like those guys are the last generation. These are the new
last
guys.
I think like every for me personally, it feels like every like 5 years it really changes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Each like it's instead of like every 10 years or 20 years, like that's something that's every 5 years. I mean, it's a very physical.
Right, and the turnover's pretty.
Yeah.
Like see guys.
John Cena's been wrestling since
forever.
12 years.
It's like a long ass.
That's like WWE wrestling. Yeah, that's nuts. Like you obviously have like your other guys like Kevin Steen, Sami Zayn, like all those guys like 13 years.
But like, wrestling like forever.
Yeah, that is like nuts.
Yeah, but like it's good that I do hope they put them in a feud together. Just like two newer faces. Like DB's been with the company for a little while,
quite some time. Yeah,
but he's newer compared to
champion.
Yeah, he's a new champion, and like
to be in the limelight.
Like, right? Yeah, and to just have these like two newer faces, just like having a real strong story would be cool.
Yeah. I agree. I think
so they set it up, and then the Authority's like, "Oh, Dolph Ziggler, you got to have a match right now against Wade Barrett."
BMB.
Yeah, for the IC title, and so they have the match, and Dolph wins, and then Glenn comes out.
Vice Principal Kane.
Vice Principal Kane comes out, and he's like, "Oh, I forgot." Because everyone in the whole company gets a southern draw.
Accent.
Yeah. This is 2 out of 3 falls, which I was like, oh, that's a sick, like, little twist. And then, obviously, after Ziggler won, Wade Barrett, like, threw a temper tantrum and, like
beat
the living trash out of him for, like, 5 minutes before Kane came out. So he was all beat up, and then, so he quickly pinned him, so the 2 falls. And then he did the Ziggler thing, which is awesome, where he's just, like, refuses to go down.
Yeah.
But eventually he lost the IC title on Raw, which was cool. But, like I was talking last week, I want to see more emphasis on that title.
Yeah.
And if you keep fucking trading it off every 3 seconds...
Trading it off is stupid, but, like, I think someone like BMB, he deserves it.
Right.
Because, like what Triple H said, he's, like, someone who rightfully never lost it.
Right. Yeah.
He was injured.
He was injured and had to give it up. Right. So, like, it's cool that he got it, but he's back and he got the title back. But, like, I want to see, like, a real long, like, 3-month feud for this fucking belt. And I want you to, like, make me believe that this belt is really important.
Yeah, exactly.
And then I want, like, the match for the belt, like, and when it finally changes hands to be, like, this, a
big fucking
deal. Big deal. And, like, to have, like, people be like, yeah, that was awesome. Like, I'm glad that the belt, I'm glad or I'm mad that the belt changed,
exactly.
like, and feel something about it. Not like, it changed and next week fucking Eric Rowan will have it. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, well, there will be no next week.
Oh, right.
That's later on.
There's no next week for him.
Nope.
He'll never wrestle again.
Never, ever.
Nope. So then after that match was like, that's the other thing. The pacing of the show was so fucking weird.
Yeah.
Like, this episode was so bizarre. They've been doing that
so much. Like just having, your regular 20, 30 minutes of talking at the very beginning.
Oh, God, it's so long,
which is, like, sometimes you're like, oh, my God, this gets me, like, so excited for this episode, and then it's just trash. Or it's, like, an hour and a half of trash, and then the last bit is, like, oh, damn.
This was actually ended up being pretty okay.
Yeah. Whatever, but
this episode was just bad beginning
to end. What happened after?
I really don't remember. Like,
I can't even think.
The Big Show versus Roman Reigns.
That was like somewhat after, but that happened.
And
ended in DQ.
He
got hit by a chair.
No, stairs. Yeah, Big Show hit Roman with the stairs, and like the match was just slow. Like this. Like, people are already on Roman Reigns' ass, and you're making him wrestle the Big Show, who, like, doesn't bring anything to a match. Mm-hmm. So, if the problem with Roman Reigns currently is people are doubting his moveset and his ability and his whatever, then don't put him with someone who doesn't bring anything to the match. You gotta put him with someone who is going to compensate for his weaknesses. Yeah, exactly. And, like, to make the match interesting. Because then you just have, like, 10 minutes of the slowest, most boring.
But the thing is, they have to do it with the right person. Because, think about it. Say they put Roman Reigns and Dolph Ziggler, which would probably be so sick.
Oh, it'd be so sick.
People would talk about Dolph Ziggler.
Right,
Like,
exactly.
Dolph was so good.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly. I mean, like, I feel bad because, like, I think Roman is better than he's been performing, and I think he's better than the flack that he's
before
getting.
he left, yeah, I thought he was a lot better.
Yeah, he was faster. It seemed like he was faster. He was hitting harder.
Yeah,
He was like more explosive.
He was on like the aftermath of the whole Shield break.
Yeah.
So like he didn't really need to be a guy that did promos right away.
Right.
You know, he didn't need to come out and say all these things. Like,
right. His incentive and stuff was there. You knew it.
Yeah, he was there just to whoop ass.
Yeah.
Basically,
And it worked.
Which for some people, that worked perfect.
Yeah.
You know, but for him now,
he's got
being gone. He has to like. He's a guy that now they're looking at to be like, all right, dude, now you gotta
step up.
Good promo, like
and he can't.
And dude, it's just like the Usos. Every time, dude, he just gets interviewed.
Yeah, because he really.
I just don't think he can carry himself in a
can't cut a promo, dude.
In a way that like would be successful.
Dude, he can't cut a fucking promo.
And like, even when he's just talking to fucking Renee Young,
dude, it's bad.
I'm like, oh god, like cringing.
Yeah, because I know he's either about to fuck up or he just doesn't sound confident in what he's saying.
Yeah, he just talks about beating ass, which is cool, but it's like he doesn't do it in like.
It doesn't sound like he really believes he's gonna beat ass.
Yeah,
like
no charisma to it.
Yeah,
like,
he's just like, I'm
just
gonna
very
beat
monotone.
you up.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly. It was just monotone and like.
And then like you know, like
fucking,
cocks his fist and says, "Believe that."
All right, look at like Dean Ambrose gets like inside of your head. Like,
yeah,
that
he's
kind of
sick, dude.
He's like just a nut. Bray Wyatt absolutely like haunts you in your dreams.
Yeah,
like
dude.
insane.
Both of those guys, I love that they've been like. Yeah, I'm getting kind of tired of their little thing that like honestly has like no real story to it.
No,
it's just like Bray thinks that Dean should join him, and Dean doesn't wanna, and so they're fighting it out. Like it's like such a forced storyline. But the banter that those two like cutting promos back and forth are awesome because both of those guys can kill the microphone.
Absolutely, and like, but then you look at also someone like Seth Rollins. Who, like, I don't think he's even the best at, like, cutting a promo.
No.
His whiny, like...
Oh, it makes you hate him.
Voice, like, he's, like we said, like, he can sell it.
Yeah.
And he, like, but what I'm saying, basically, yeah, is, like, someone who isn't that good at cutting a promo can still be very good at it.
Yeah.
As long as you can do it the right way.
Yeah, I just think maybe Roman hasn't really found his footing. As like who the Roman Reigns character is.
So maybe he's like his attitude.
Yeah, like I still don't know who the Roman Reigns character is.
Like, yeah, he beats ass. Like, that's sick, but
that's sick.
It is.
I mean, he's a big guy.
Yeah,
he's
but
he's Samoan.
Not like a big show big guy. He's like, and exactly, dude. Like, all right, Usos obviously only get interviewed, so it's not like they're getting like their crazy promos. But when they are getting interviewed, they have over-the-top energy.
Right.
You know, they're like
they come and
dancing, screaming around.
Right,
you know?
and which works for their whole thing, which I don't fully understand what it is, but like
two happy Samoans.
Yeah, like two happy Samoans that like fly around and like run in place, which is fine, you know, and it sells T-shirts, you know, like those dudes probably make good ass money.
Oh, absolutely.
Like so whatever they're doing is fucking working, but like Roman Reigns, like. People are buying Roman shirts, but it's kind of like it's kind of like the hype of Roman Reigns is progressing Roman Reigns, and now that people are kind of starting to see through that, and like they're like, well, what the fuck is he bringing?
Well, you also have to think like prior to him getting injured, like you know, it was like whatever the aftermath of the Shield, everyone was jockeying the Shield at that point.
Right. Everyone wanted because people weren't ready for the Shield to break up.
Yeah,
because they did it so abruptly.
They were satisfied with.
Yeah,
you know, and I think that's exactly like his hype, if you will, like is dying down. And people now are like, all right, well, Seth Rollins has definitely exceeded like what we expected him to do. Dean Ambrose more than all of them.
Who, when they were the Shield, I was like weakest guy in the group.
Oh, absolutely. I was like, Dean sucks.
Yeah, like weakest guy in the group. And when they broke up, I was like, this dude's fire. Yeah. Like, he's unreal.
Yep, absolutely. So, I mean, I don't know, Ro.
It's just he doesn't. And I think what it is, like I said, I don't know what the Roman Reigns character is because I don't think he knows what the Roman Reigns character is.
Yeah.
Because there is no real character there. Mm-hmm. It's just, I come in, I fucking do the big spear, which is sick. And when he hits the big spear and he hits it good and it looks good,
you're pumped.
You're like, yeah, that spear was huge. And like you see people literally fold in half from it, and it's awesome. And then he gets all pumped up, and like the crowd gets like when he hits that spear, like everyone's on his side. Shit. Yeah. Like literally, they go from this dude isn't very good to being like he's the best. Yeah. Like, and then he hits the Superman punch, the match is over, and people are like, I don't like him anymore. Like it's. If he could, like, for, like, that energy that he has from, like, the spear to the punch, if he could make that a character, I think people would be on his side.
But bring it to, like, all aspects of who
he is.
Don't just have, like, the same fucking moveset.
Right.
That, he's getting his ass kicked.
Like, I mean, dude, I'm a sucker for the Samoan drop. Like, when people...
that is a
like, the sickest move.
I think, like, don't get me wrong, I think that move is sick, but it's like, do some other shit.
Like, dude, when the Usos do it, I like them. Like,
exactly.
Like, they hit a Samoan drop, and I'm like, those dudes are awesome.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know.
It's just, he's got to find himself as a character. And I'm not saying he needs to, like, be like this like stereotype of a character or like
Jock the Rock or anything.
Right. Like, he just needs to. I think he hasn't found himself in or brought. I don't know. There's something's missing from the Roman Reigns.
Like where Ryback did that whole promo last week.
Yeah.
Like this is who I am.
Yeah.
Which was obviously him trying to connect with fans and like get it beyond like. Because he's cool, he's big, like, for people to be like, no, Ryback is actually a really good wrestler.
Yeah.
Like, he almost needs to do something like that.
He does. Yeah, I think so.
I would be satisfied with it, and, like, if he gave, like, I'm not saying give his whole life story, but, like, just give something more, give, like, I don't know, like Daniel Bryan is the underdog. He'll always play off the underdog.
He'll always
super fuck the man. Where we are as a group, we are
Daniel Bryan.
The Yes movement. We are a movement. Like if he gave something, just as an example, like I'm for you guys. I'm for the people.
Right.
I stand up for justice.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like he could, and like that's what the Shield was.
Like, but if he continues, he could be like, listen, I didn't choose for the Shield to break up. The Shield chose for the Shield to break up, and like, I still stand for this, and I still want this to be like. And if they start playing him as like this almost vigilante character, like that would be badass.
That it would be more than what they're doing right now,
right? And if he like played up like and he like saw people not doing shit that he thought was right, and he was like, no, fuck that, and he like comes out. Through the crowd thing still works, dude. People still like it.
It's still sick.
Right? So he has all these tools that he needs to just, like, implement.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, yes, Sting's on the roster, technically, but he's not doing it. But, like, if he does, like, the Sting thing, where, like, Sting would come out and fuck with the NWO
just
and, like...
stare at them.
Yeah, and be like, I don't agree with this, I need to stop this. Well, and then he ended up joining the NWO, and it was a fuck show. Yeah. Like, dude...
Which I'm pretty sure he said he regretted doing.
Yeah. Dude, it literally...
Did nothing for his career.
It did nothing for anybody. It did nothing for the company of WCW. Yeah. Like, in fact, it hurt WCW.
Yeah.
If they continued and had, like, Sting rally, like, a small, like, hit squad to stop the NWO, that would have been badass.
No, that would have been so sick.
But... Like, it was so badass when he was, like, solo, like, trying to take down the NWO. That was so sick.
Mm-hmm. DDP's was almost sicker, though.
I know. Saying. Yeah, it really was. That was so badass.
Doing the diamond cutter.
Huh?
Oh, my God. And him saying you could hear people, like he's joining NWO.
He's joining it. And then when he didn't, people were like, yes!
Yeah. So it was, like, the most explosive thing
ever. Well, it was like the last... because everyone had joined the NWO.
Yeah,
and they were like,
there's only a few here.
There's only a few people left, and DDP was like the hero. And then they were like, oh no, DDP's gone too. Yeah. And then, nope. Kicking an ass.
So, I mean, if they want to go like some sort of Sting route, because I mean, plain and simple, it's obvious they will reuse a storyline and they would steal a storyline. So don't
clearly because that's like the next
already been done.
Yeah,
like,
they'll do it.
They'll do
and
it.
I'm not saying,
but they have once they have more tools. They have the authority.
Right, and the authority is a good thing for him to be like.
Fuck the
like I wasn't around when this happened. I was out on injury, but I wanted to be there to stop this.
I wouldn't have let it get to this.
Right, I wouldn't have let this happen.
Yeah,
that's like so much there that they could work with. It's like, the authority's the reason that the Shield broke up, not me.
Mm-hmm.
Like all this stuff, and like he has this vendetta against the authority, and he's going to stop at nothing to stop the authority.
They wanted to have Triple H versus Roman Reigns, so that'd be a perfect.
That would be a perfect way. And it would give him, like, if they kind of, like, gave him free reign, and we're kind of like, what would you do in this situation? You know what I mean? How would you want to play this situation out? Like, try it.
He'd just be like, just believe that.
Yeah. and then
I would just believe in it.
I would just believe in this and hold his fist up.
Yeah.
It's just like, dude, you're killing me.
What is going on?
But that's it, like, DX. Like, was basically, they've said, like, Shawn and Triple H have said it like a million times. Like, DX were these ideas that they had that they just kept badgering Vince McMahon until Vince was like, fine, go ahead. Yeah. And then DX was, because it was just what they wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know if Roman Reigns is capable of something. I'm not saying that he could create
a DX.
Right, but I feel like he doesn't know what they want him to be. And what he's supposed to be.
I'd love to be a fly on the wall with
so many things in that company.
Yeah, exactly. So many things. And
who's in charge of writing these shows?
Yeah, dude. Honestly, fans could write a better show.
Well, a lot of people have said, like I've seen in interviews, it's like the writers are now these like, brown sports, like these like suit wearing guys that have completely lost touch with the fact that they used to be fans of wrestling.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it has not, like, they have no connection with wrestling except for the fact that they have to write a fucking story about it. Like,
yeah.
They have no, like, this is what I would like to see because they don't really give a fuck what happens.
Exactly.
Whereas, like, every week I'm like, oh my god, they should have fucking done this, or they could have done this.
There's so many ways that they could, like, change things around and make them so sick.
Yeah.
Like, so fucking sick. Perfect way to bring the authority back and turn John Cena heel, which I know probably won't happen.
It's not going to happen for a little while, but I know they keep, like, hinting at it.
This is what I think they should have done. Was John Cena to come down. Because in that ring, it was Big Show, Edge, Seth Rollins. Was J&J with him?
I think there was 4. It was like 4 on 1. Perfect, after Christian got knocked out.
Yep, you're right. Perfect. He knocks Christian out, whatever. Christian disappears.
Yeah, Christian gets hit in the stomach and literally disappears.
I don't know where he went. He could have been like, fine, I bring back the authority. Mm-hmm. Authority walks down. Seth Rollins is, he's cheering, like, whatever, getting all...
Doing the awesome, like, Seth Rollins when he announces... When Triple H announced, "Oh, you're going to be in the triple threat match," he's like, "Yes!" and throws his hands up in the air like a kid. It was so funny.
So you know what they should have done was J&J should have started like walking towards Seth, like to like be pumped, fucking take him out. They just beat the shit out of Seth Rollins. When Seth Rollins looks up, Triple H and Steph like have their arms around John Cena.
Like,
dude, that would have been so sick.
Yeah, but then where do you go with Seth in that storyline? The Shield gets back together.
Yeah, well, then you gotta think.
It's like the reason that the Shield, like, you have to keep Seth as a villain, or else it literally gives no reason as to why the Shield wouldn't get back together. Yeah. Except for the fact that Roman and
well, I read that like WWE has been we're like, oh my god, I can't believe we ended it this early. Well, they plan on having them reunite.
Right, and I've heard things like they're going to kind of like treat it like almost like a DX thing where they get back together every once in a while and like, to take care of
fight this common enemy.
Yeah, right. Which will be badass when they finally get back together and like I'll lose my goddamn mind.
Oh yeah.
As long as they make the re-debut of the Shield as impactful as the debut of the Shield, where they just came out and mauled people for 3 weeks straight before they even had a match, which is awesome. I fucking forget where we were. I have no idea what we were talking about.
Where would Seth Rollins be?
No, I just don't know where he would go if that was the case. But they really should.
But at the same time, why does John Cena have to feud with
everybody?
You know
anything that impacts, like we said a few weeks ago, anything that impacts the overall universe of the WWE, it involves John Cena every time, which is painful and annoying.
But if they did it the right way, they absolutely it would
turn him heel.
Yeah. But something like that, that's just, that's a quick rough draft. They can fucking finish out the fine details to it.
But that's better than anything that's happened in the past year.
Exactly. And that, dude, that would get people
pumped.
People would go nuts. They would not know what to, they'd be like, oh my god, this is as big as Hulk turning.
Yeah. It would be. Because, it's hard to see it right now. But he basically is the new, you know what I mean?
Absolutely is, dude.
He transcends wrestling. He's on all sorts of talk shows and, which is what Hulk Hogan did. You know what I mean? He does movies. I'll bet they're all bad. But he does, you know what I mean? He's more of a pop culture figure than just a wrestler, you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Obviously not to the degree Hulk Hogan is, but he's fucking pretty cool.
I could see him getting bigger than Hulk.
Yeah.
Especially right now, you got to think of the year we're in 2015 compared to
85 or whatever.
Whatever, you know what I mean? It's years obviously difference and technology is so much easier to spread.
It's weird to me, speaking of technology, wrestling, wrestlers themselves could be so much bigger in pop culture if the company was hipper. They're not,
dude, they're I feel like they're 3 months behind
everything. They're not hip to anything.
The RKO videos,
dude. Right? Okay,
that's one thing, dude. Using Vine, which I am on a WWE Vine. An official one.
Are you?
Oh yeah, from Money in the Bank, dude. They took a Vine of my section.
That's so funny.
Yep.
Dude, you're such a maniac.
So sick.
Was it was Mark with you?
Yep.
Was he hammered doing running up and down the aisles doing Suck It?
No, he actually Money in the Bank. I don't know if he was that drunk, to be honest.
Really?
Yeah, I really don't think he was.
There's a video that I want to post on our Twitter page, if you'll allow it, of Mark running up and down the aisles doing Suck It to little kids.
I mean, I wouldn't care.
It's so ridiculous.
Yeah, I wouldn't care.
But regardless of Mark doing Suck It to little kids. Oh yeah, Johnson. There's so many things, so many different things. I think that honestly, that the idea of maybe giving Roman Reigns some sort of making him some sort of vigilante against injustices in the company is a fine idea. It doesn't require him to talk a lot. It doesn't require, you know what I mean? And it gives him a cool edge that he can fucking
But he's someone that could still be the leader.
Right.
Without...
Yeah, and maybe start recruiting people, small, here or there, one other don't fucking NWO yourself.
Yeah, keep it to, 4 people max.
Max. And no one not Dean Ambrose, you would just, all new guys.
Alright, so, fast forward. I mean, this is really fast forwarding to the very end.
Yeah.
But, I mean, we can go back, jump around the show. Ryback, Dolph Ziggler, Eric Rowan. All got fired.
All of them could join this fucking team.
Dude, him and Ryback
would be sick. Yep. That would be sick. Him and Ryback just being a fucking wrecking ball.
Yeah. Oh, and then throw Eric Rowan in there.
Yeah.
Dude. Eric Rowan's the weakest out of all, I think.
But he's huge.
Huge.
Yeah.
And then Dolph Ziggler, dude.
Just being dude, I I know people like don't, but you agree that he's on the path to like Shawn Michaels status.
Oh, absolutely, dude.
And I really think he could be next HBK. Like,
yeah, dude, he's awesome.
He's fucking.
But so I mean, they could do something with that and keep it those guys, and then that would be
badass.
And even if they only did that for 6 months to a year, kept that together,
it would
fine with me.
It would really help. Like working with Dolph would help Roman Reigns.
Yeah,
like significant because that dude can fucking work a microphone.
Oh,
that dude can work a crowd. That dude can make people fucking fall in love with him. Yep. He's fucking awesome.
Absolutely, I completely agree.
And just like being able to work with him every night would be like so good for him in the ring. Just like because Dolph is just like uses every part of the ring all the time,
and
like
just like complete feeds off of the crowd.
Yeah, and then, like what's working, what's not working,
and then just
he's like dude,
above and beyond
the show off.
He's such a show off.
You always like his music cues. He comes out. Not only he comes out, and then me and John go, "Oh God, I hope he shakes his ass tonight."
Yo, I love when he has the belt, he doesn't do it.
When he has the belt, he doesn't do it. But when he does it,
which is like I think I might rather him without the belt, just so he does it.
Yeah, I know when he does the pelvic twirl,
it's so funny,
it's so ridiculous. And then you always look over at me and go, "He's such a show off."
He's the biggest show off I've ever seen.
Oh, he's such a show off.
Yeah, so dude, they could really.
That would be a cool team. It's like these 3 guys that got fired, and Roman, who like they could write in. They should have been working on it already because now it'll look like it's out of the fucking blue. But like,
it's like they listen to our show.
Yeah,
like, I guess that could work.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I was talking to another friend of mine, and I was like, they could have done this, 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 and this, and he was like, dude, like, what are you like? You should be writing for them. Like, and I was like, I looked at him and I was like, dude, this isn't rocket science. Like, this is like common fucking.
Top of my head, like maybe pre-thought for 5 minutes.
Yeah, this is common fucking sense. Yeah, they should be doing this. Exactly. But like, they could do this thing with like Roman, where he's like trying to fight the Authority because he wasn't there, and like they're the reason the Shield broke up, and they're the reason, everything that's wrong with the company, and blah blah blah. And like these 3 guys that just got fucking shit canned for basically no reason. Are like, you're right, and we're gonna rally behind you, and we're gonna fucking solve this problem.
Yep.
Badass. Like, writes itself.
Awesome.
Yeah. They don't show up every night.
Awesome.
That's would be the other best part. They wouldn't be there every night, and then all of a sudden, fucking
do some shit with them, like wearing like ski masks or some shit.
Right.
Like, so you're like, I think I know who that is.
Yeah. Like,
oh wait, is that? Yeah, I think that's him.
Yeah.
Like gives like the somewhat mystery of it all.
Right, like, and the thing, like the NWO would come and they would,
outsiders would just
the outsiders would raise hell, and I mean it worked in their advantage because there was no internet. People didn't know what company they were working for. They thought they were working for WWF. They turns out they were actually signed to WWE or WCW the whole time. But
either way, though,
it worked. Yeah, and people were like, these guys are here to fucking ruin everything.
Yeah.
And it's, and even if you know who they are, you could do like cool like vignettes of them, like, I mean, it sucks because the Shield did a lot of this shit. Yeah. Like, they did, like, where they would come down and just, jump your ass and blah, blah. And then they were doing the videos where it looked like it was, like, a camcorder. Like, but shit like that, like, works where it's them being, like...
getting real.
Yeah, like, where they could, like, call it a rebellion. Or even fucking better! Even fucking better. Dude, would be the best fucking plotline ever. Fucking goddamn ever. Would be if Roman Reigns started recruiting people from NXT to invade.
Have a Nexus 2.0.
Yes. Would be badass.
That would be fucking sick.
Where those 4 guys are like, this is a fucking joke, this place. We have some real fucking, we have the real guys and we're going to fucking show you. And they fucking... Yeah.
And that would just put all those guys over more than they already are.
Right. But it's just like, so many cool things they could do. So many like cool ideas and things to help people that are having trouble like Roman Reigns. And they're just like, instead, what do? Adam Rose.
Yeah.
Versus, who did he even fucking wrestle?
Big E.
Big E, right? A New Day. The
New Nation, which it should be.
Yeah, right. It should be the New Nation. But A New Day, this fucking faction that they were hyping up, and have done nothing with.
Well, the weirdest
who
part
are the
is,
most
like,
boring.
when they first started it, those three, like, weeks before, because then they kind of just went off of TV.
Right.
Dude, they were, like, getting it ready to be, like, a new nation.
Right.
And, like, I was losing my mind. Like, this is going to be so fucking sick.
Yeah, if they do New Nation. And, dude, Shauna was talking about it. My fiance was talking about it last night when we were watching Raw. It was like, why aren't these guys, like, making any nods or, like, anything to any of these, like, racial, social injustices that have been going on in the country?
Oh.
Like, why is there no anything?
Because, for me, like...
Dude.
Yeah, and, like, the thing is, like, the way to make shit the best is making it real.
And so if these guys were coming out, like, holding their fucking hands up, like,
Yep.
It would be insane.
Yeah, or even if you go back, dude, with Trayvon Martin wearing the hoodie.
Yes.
Dude, have Kofi Kingston, because he usually wears a hoodie.
Yeah.
Have him wearing his hoodie, and then, like, have one of them with their hands up.
Yeah, like, dude, just, like, badass shit like that.
Because, like, I'm sure those dudes, like, are 100% behind it.
Right.
Regardless.
Just let them do it. And,
Yeah.
like, be this fucking, like, be the new nation.
Yeah, and that would be, like...
Like,
dude,
there's so much, like, shit that they could make commentary on that's happening in the real world.
Yeah, and...
And would apply to their faction and would, like... Yeah. No, they're having fucking Big E come out with a fucking, like... Towel. And then he's, like, shining Xavier Woods' shoes with it.
And then he wiped his
sweat. And then wiped his sweaty forehead with it. Are you kidding me? That's what they're doing?
Yeah. And, like, dude, the Big E is badass.
Big E's badass. Kofi Kingston is a performer and a half. Xavier Woods can fucking wrestle. Yeah. Like, these three dudes that, when I was like, oh, they're going to be in a faction together, that's badass. Like, these three guys are going to shine. Like, and you're going to see some cool shit. Yep. Nope.
Absolutely not.
No, they're going to fight Adam Rose, Big E versus Adam Rose, and then Cesaro and Tyson Kidd, TJ, the fucking piece of shit, are going to wear full body cat suits.
Which, before that happened, so, like, for weeks everyone's been, like, not 100% on who the bunny is.
Right.
Thinking it was Sami Zayn
and
then Justin Gabriel, whatever.
Yeah.
I thought, for sure, when... So he picked Big E up to powerbomb him, and then Tyson Kidd hopped up on the ropes.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my god, is this Sami Zayn and Adrian Neville? Because I
that
thought he was going to do a red arrow,
badass.
And I was going to be like, holy shit, that's actually a sick way to bring them up.
Yeah.
Like, that would have been cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. Like, and then just have them, like, dominate, like, all of them, Adam Rose, like, all of the exotic...
Everybody in the whole fucking...
Take out everyone there.
Yeah.
You know?
But, no...
Or some of the stupid shit.
Just, like... Honestly, like...
Dumb TV.
What are you doing with Cesaro?
Wasting his talent.
Dude.
100% wasting
Oh
his
my
talent.
God. That poor guy is just, like...
Yep. In stagnant water.
Ugh. Alright, we're running... like, we still have a few minutes, but there's a couple things that I want to touch on. The Ascension.
Oh my god.
Sweet Jesus. I fucking loved this tag. Loved. I no longer like them.
Yeah, you were... That was, like, your favorite thing off of NXT.
Loved that tag team. They're just so badass. They're just, like, this tough, intimidating, huge tag team. Had great chemistry together. Had, like, not my favorite, like, little gimmick, but, like, doable, acceptable.
Yeah.
But just, like, them as, like, these two powerhouses with a badass team finish and just, like, they just were monsters. And they, honestly,
killed it.
I don't care about... I want them to go away.
I honestly felt bad for them.
I did too.
Like... Because that's some shit, obviously, they're told what to say.
Yes.
But, yo, if that was me...
I would have
said something along the lines of what they wanted to say. Like,
but not that.
There's so many things they could have said. So, talking about Road Warriors.
Yeah, so this is what they said. So is they basically made fun of Demolition and the Road Warriors.
Which, they're just, like, two mock-ups of...
Yeah.
A mashup of the two of them. And, like, mainly LOD, though. Like, they look like straight up...
LOD.
Yeah. Road Warriors... 2.0.
Yeah, like 2015 LOD.
Yeah, and, you know, that's wicked cool. Like,
go with that.
So what I was thinking is, like, you know, think of, like, Kevin Steen, like, changing it to Owens because of his respect and love for Owen Hart.
Right.
Out of it for his memory of Owen Hart.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. I can't, off the top of my head, I can't think of anybody else. But it's just it's a very common thing for people to, like, kind of nod to.
But Batista shakes
people.
the ropes like Ultimate Warrior because Ultimate Warrior was his favorite when he was a kid, and like thinks that he was the greatest wrestler.
Exactly.
And so he
there's so
does
many
that.
things that are like nodded to old, like Bad News Barrett would do the off the ropes, like elbow drop, like Cactus Jack, and then would say bang bang.
Right.
Like, dude, there's so many things that they could do
to nod LOD and be like, these guys were great and we're great. Like,
they had the chance to be like, we loved them. This is who we are. We became us because of them.
Because of them.
Some along those lines, they could have said, you know, like, you guys thought they were powerful. You thought they were great. Well, wait till you see what we're capable of.
Right. That's all they should have said.
That's not like that's them saying, yes, we're better than them, which isn't true.
Which is not true.
But that would be them being able to say, yes, we're better than them, and we're more powerful, and we're more everything than those guys. But we still have this, like...
Right.
They're our idols.
Right, respect for those guys. But what
they said was...
It was rude!
What a rush. More like, what a joke. And, like...
First of all...
the promo itself was shitty.
Bad.
People... after they said that, dude, I mean, the internet exploded and was like, I'm turning Raw off.
Yeah, like, how dare you?
Yeah, I was like, wow.
Dude, even Mick Foley tweeted something that was like, I wouldn't have done that. And he tweets the most, like...
Well, he's gone
neutral
in trouble a few times with WWE.
Yeah, but, like, he posts, like, the most neutral on the fence, like...
Yeah, like, after when the Bray Wyatt Dean Ambrose first started, after that Hell in a Cell match, he was like... Now, I know, I can understand why everyone's mad, but wait, follow the promos.
Yeah.
You know? So he was for... Yeah, exactly. Like, he's someone who keeps...
He tries to, like, be like, no, there's something else going... Like, there's something... And he was like, I wouldn't have done that.
Dude,
like...
That was rough.
Dude, it was... They came out, disrespected the two tag teams that they have been repackaged as.
Yeah.
Which... In NXT, they were not who they are right now.
No, they had like the crotch flap.
Yeah, and it's basically it's kind of like this like cult type thing. Yeah, is like what it was. Which is cool, right? And I was like, that's fine. You know, it wasn't my favorite thing about them, but they had like this they're all right. First of all, in NXT, when they have time to wrestle, that's the other thing. They haven't given these guys any time to wrestle.
No,
they like set up their finisher, which is like the Fall of Man, and it makes it so much more intense when they're like setting it up and they're both like in the ring, like getting ready to charge these guys. Both times they've done it on Raw, they just hit it like that, and it just looks sloppy and weird, and like, and it isn't effective. Neither of them seem comfortable in their new like character, like, you know what I mean?
I don't. Yeah.
They're like, it just seems...
And also, though, like, no, though, because it's like, they seem like, obviously they're pumped up to be there, but, like, it's almost like they're so nervous.
They seem nervous.
To be there. And, like, their promo was shitty. It was crickets from the crowd. Then after...
Dude, it was boos and then crickets.
Yeah, boos, yeah, exactly. Boos and then just straight crickets to be like, I can't believe these fucking dudes just said that.
Yeah, like, seriously. And the worst part is, like, you do know that they were, like, handed two scripts and were like, all right, you gotta hit these points.
Yeah. But they totally could have done it, and, like, what I would have done is said something like I just said, like, you know, you thought they were great, well, watch what we're doing.
Yeah, like, those guys were great, but we're gonna show you what's
what's up.
What's really good. Yeah, like...
And... If that was me, I would have gone out back, and when I was gonna get my fucking head cut off, I would have been like, "Oh, I fucked up my line."
That, or just been like, honestly, I didn't feel comfortable saying that because I don't believe that. I don't believe that we are better than or bigger than LOD.
Yeah,
like, and I would have looked at him and been like, and you don't believe that either.
Yeah, and I know for for a fact we're not better than the Road Warriors.
Right. Like, I know you don't believe that either.
Yeah. Unless, dude, they're trying to bring Animal back, and the Animal just comes and just, like, beats their ass single-handedly. That'd be so sick.
It would be sick. But yeah, it was bad. And then they just had them wrestle two no-names.
They were locals, dude.
Oh.
Local wrestlers that JBL said, you know, they were in Texas, you know.
Yeah.
I'm sure all of us know.
Like, that's sick that two locals got, like, a moment. But, like, for, like, these two guys that had a really rough debut, and then you give them that, like, it's just, like, you're just...
It's, like, cool. So these, like, guys who are supposed to be, like, this crazy force are beating the shit of people that they aren't even announcing their names.
They didn't even say who they were.
So, like, yeah, cool. That's not really impressive at all.
Now, if it was like Ryback and the Big Show in the ring, and they came in and they fucking decimated them, it would be like, all right, like, holy shit, like these two guys are fucking tough.
But JBL said,
"What?
Looks like they found those guys on rafts."
Yeah,
I'm like, yes, they are of like a Hispanic descent,
dude. That's
but it's like
too much.
Can't say that. That is something like, all right, so hold on.
That's something the King would have said in the 90s.
Exactly. Like, all right, so hold on. The fans are going to get bullshit about them talking about being better than LOD, but no one's going to say shit about
JBL being racist.
That's just racist, plain and simple. Like,
the best, like, I think the thing is people were so fired up about the Ascension, they didn't even, like, hear what.
No.
The best, the icing on the shit cake that was that promo was the fact that the commentators were like, what?
Yeah.
Like,
whoa, I would.
Booker T was like, no.
Yeah, I love that they were just like, yeah, no, that's just not true.
Yeah.
That's, nope.
Booker T straight up being like,
yo, hold on one second, man.
No. No.
Yeah, exactly. Fucking exactly.
Yeah, and it's just like, dude, that was, I feel bad. Those two guys are not gonna be on the roster long. Like, I don't see it.
That was bad.
Like,
no, I think they will last because you got to look at some of the other people that are still on the roster.
That's true.
You know, they'll use them for house shows until they get comfortable.
Yeah, I don't know. They just fucked that debut. That debut was so weak that it gave them no backing.
Yeah,
going into
absolutely
like
going into Rumble, like
awful, and you know they're gonna get called down in Rumble, both of them.
Yeah, two separate. And
and
no one's gonna give.
One's gonna give a fuck. They're gonna get booed,
and they're just gonna be the pawns of it.
And they'll probably set up like one fall of man on someone. You know what I mean? Like
they'll give them like a 10-second limelight.
Yeah, and like they'll set up a fall of man on someone, and like hopefully it'll be all right. But there's gonna be so many people in the ring already that it's like.
How are they going to...
Yeah, and then
they come in there either early or...
Early, right. If they're, like, within the first, like, 3. Like, if it goes, like... You know what I mean? Like, or the first, like, 4 or 5. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? It's, like, there are 2 people in the ring, and then, like, Victor gets called, and someone else gets... And then Connor gets called. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then there's some people in the ring, and they can set it up, and the ring won't be too crowded, and... You know, maybe if they set it up good and do a good one, maybe people will get behind them. But then they'll both just get knocked out by someone, and that'll be that.
Yeah, exactly.
And they're just like in rough shit. I feel bad because they came from NXT where they're like fucking adored.
Yeah,
and
people really liked them now.
Yeah, because they're good.
Yeah,
their match last week with like Finn Balor and Hideo Itami was fucking insane. But
so let's just talk real quick.
Before we wrap this up.
Christmas Eve, actually. Kevin Nash. I love Kevin Nash. Big Daddy.
He doesn't love you.
Doesn't love me.
Big Daddy doesn't love you.
He does not. So he tweeted out a photo. So, all right, hold on. So, Christmas Eve, the police report reads that Kevin Nash's adult son, I think he's in his like 20s.
He's like 23 or something.
Yeah, exactly. Adult son went home, started talking shit to Kevin Nash and his girlfriend. Like drunk as shit. Kevin Nash was like, yo, fuck this. I think they kind of grappled a
little bit.
And then Kevin just like pinned him to the ground, probably to be like, dude, you done? Or, yeah. You done? He starts scratching at his dad's face.
Yeah.
He fucking chokeslammed him. That is honestly, I think, one of the greatest things ever. Him choke slamming his son on Christmas Eve. Dude, that is so cool.
Alright, so me and you find this out, and we have a good chuckle about it.
So we laugh it up. Then he tweets a picture of...
Like a day or two later?
Yeah, of like, the beach. It said, love the beach in the winter. You know, clearly was down there, like...
Just got out of jail, like on Christmas Eve.
It looks like it was... It says 10:40 p.m. he posted that, so, you know, it's late at night. He's just, you know, clearing his mind. You know, just really...
Just trying to think things out.
Trying to, like, you know, chill out, like, collect himself, everything. So I tweeted at him, at Real Kevin Nash, yo, that's so sick you chokeslammed your son. All caps, Diesel. He didn't respond. Nick retweeted it.
I had to. It's one of my favorite tweets that's ever been tweeted.
It's amazing. Like, and you know what? Like, I seriously think it's the sickest thing ever. Like, dead ass serious. Like, last night we were talking about it for about 10 minutes. I think it's the coolest thing ever.
Right. His son was being a drunk jerk-off, a drunk bastard.
Yeah, a straight up drunk bastard. And he fucking chokeslammed him. Tell me what's cooler than that.
If he jackknife powerbombed him,
yes,
would have been like the only cooler thing.
Killed him.
Yeah.
That would have been death. So like that would have been like, all right, Kev, took it a little too far. So last night, you know, I'm looking for. He posted something, and you're like, oh, look at what he.
Yeah,
posted.
it was something. So it was like, I saw it as an opportunity for John to tweet at him again something funny because it was like something about like. You know, oh, he was at the gym, like, all ripped up or something.
Like, I love, like...
Chest day or something.
Yeah,
like, ridiculous about being ripped up or something. And I was like, oh, John will have a field day with this.
Oh, yeah. Like, so I was I searched his name, gonna go tweet at him. Blocked me. Straight up blocked by Kevin Nash. Which, two things. It kind of bums me out because...
Do you think I got blocked?
I don't know. No, because you saw his...
Someone retweeted it, though.
So you might be.
Because I retweeted it.
But you know what that tells me, though?
What?
He saw it. He saw it, dude.
He did see it. He saw that you told him it's awesome that he chokeslammed his son. Which I'm sure,
he probably is, like, so upset with himself.
Yeah, and you were like, you know what's sick? That you chokeslammed your son.
That's fucking badass. So to be honest, his son, if he's being a drunk bastard, yo, he has to show him he's the alpha. Plain and simple.
You're a ridiculous
He's
person.
the alpha, dude.
Hold on. Kevin Nash. I gotta see.
Blocked.
No, I'm not.
You fucker.
I'm not, which is great, so I get to see the updates. I'll let you know. Yeah, and I can keep telling you when he posts things that are great that you should tweet at him.
So last night, though, I finally tweeted back, at Real Kevin Nash. Now, I don't know if he can read them. I think he can read them from me, even though I'm blocked. Like, I just can't see his tweets.
Right.
So, at Real Kevin Nash blocked me. I don't hate on him chokeslamming his adult son on Christmas Eve. He had to put him in his place. Hashtag all caps. Big Daddy Diesel.
He was showing his son who Big Daddy is.
Dude, he's the fucking alpha. He's from the Wolf Pack.
That's what you said last night. I was like, you go, dude, that's so alpha.
It is. It really is, dude. He proved he was the man of the house.
Yeah.
Like,
dude, he chokeslammed his drunk son on Christmas Eve.
I wonder if he got coal in his stocking.
Oh my god, that was the worst! I hate you! That was the worst! You're painful. Oh boy.
I love it.
Well, that's pretty much it,
yeah,
I think.
Not much else.
Not much. The only other thing, NXT happened, and I think we might finally get to see Baron Corbin actually wrestle.
Yeah, I also heard that Sammy and Adrian Neville are going to be sticking around a little bit longer than people expected, which is kind of cool.
And it's probably due to the Ascension having such a bad fucking...
Well, I think it's also... Yeah, they need to... Well, Adrian Neville needs his character.
Uh-huh.
Like,
because he doesn't have one.
He doesn't really have one. And I think we're going to see some fucking amazing matches between
those two.
Those two we've seen plenty of, but Owens, because there hasn't been a Kevin Owens, like Adrian Neville, real good feud. Hasn't been one with him and Hideo.
Right.
Or Finn Balor.
Yeah.
So I think...
Dude, Finn Balor has been, like, blowing the doors off. He's so
those
good.
Those are, like, the guys
right
now.
I want to see some good matches between all of them.
So, I think big things will happen with those guys before they come up.
Yeah.
So, I'm pumped.
All right. Well,
that's it.
That's been this week. Remember, go to Twitter, follow us, TIW Pod.
Yep.
John?
X Do The Right Thing.
I'm at iSalsaShark. Make sure to follow at This 3D Life. They put this shit together. And I guess we'll see you guys next week. I don't have anything. Sometimes I hit you with a witty one at the end.
You know what?
What do you got?
Just have a nice day.
Just have a good one.
No, have a nice day.
I know. I already did that one, though.
Oh, we did?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Jinkies.